In today's video, we're going to discuss distance, speed, and time calculations. This work is covered both in math and physical sciences and is the cornerstone for any questions involving movement. In this triangle, D represents distance, S represents speed, and T represents time. If you want to calculate distance, close the D with your hand and see distance is speed multiplied by time. Similarly with speed, it is distance divided by time. Think of the speed units like kilometers per hour, so distance divided by time. And with time being distance divided by speed. Let's move on to the first example. If a car is traveling at a constant speed of 50 miles per hour, how long will it take to travel 100 miles? What I would recommend doing is to write down all the information given. The speed is 50 miles per hour. They want you to calculate the time, and the distance is 100 miles. Since they want the time, you can close the T in the triangle and see that time is equal to distance divided by speed. Plug your distance and speed into your equation. 100 divided by 50 is 2, and thus the total time taken is 2 hours. The units are hours for time because the speed is given in miles per hour. Example number 2. A train travels at a constant speed of 80 kilometers per hour. How far will it travel in 2 hours and 30 minutes? Write down everything that is given. Speed is 80 kilometers per hour. Distance is what you want to find, and the time is 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is 2.5 hours. Since you want to find the distance, close the D in the triangle, and then you see that distance is speed multiplied by time. Plug your values for speed and time into the equation. 80 times 2.5 is 200, and thus your distance traveled is 200 kilometers. Example number 3. Two cyclists, Alice and Bob, start at the same time from the same point. Alice rides at 15 kilometers per hour and Bob rides at 20 kilometers per hour. How much sooner will Bob reach a location 60 kilometers away? Firstly, write down what is given. The speed of Alice is 15 kilometers per hour. The speed of Bob is 20 kilometers per hour. The distance given is 60 kilometers. The question wants you to find the change in time, and that is represented by delta or the triangle in front of the T. Close the T with your hand and see that time is equals to distance divided by speed. Work out the two different times for Alice and Bob, and you get 4 hours for Alice and 3 hours for Bob. The change in time is calculated by subtracting Bob's time from Alice's time, and thus you have shown that Bob arrives at the location 1 hour earlier. In the last example, example 4, a cyclist begins a journey and rides at 10 kilometers per hour for the first 3 hours, then increases their speed to 15 kilometers per hour for the next 2 hours. How far will the cyclist have traveled at the end of these 5 hours? And what is the average speed for the entire journey? Yet again, start off by writing down what is given. The first speed given is 10 kilometers per hour, and its time is 3 hours, which I labeled as time 1 or T1. The second speed is 15 kilometers per hour, and its corresponding time is 2 hours, labeled as time 2. The question wants you to find the total distance and the average speed. We'll start off with the total distance. Close the D in the triangle and see that distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. The total distance will be the sum of the two distances. The first distance where he rode 10 kilometers per hour for 3 hours, and the second distance where he rode 15 kilometers per hour for 2 hours. I'm going to directly calculate the two distances in one formula, but you can also do them separately. Plug in your values for the two speeds and the two times. 30 plus 30 is 60, and thus you have shown that the total distance traveled is 60 kilometers. Now back to the question, what is the average speed for the journey? If you think about it logically, the two speeds are 10 and 15 kilometers per hour, which means that the average speed needs to be in between 10 and 15 kilometers per hour. Speed is distance divided by time. In this case, you want to divide the total distance, which we just calculated, by the total time taken to get the average speed. The total distance is 60, and divide 60 by the sum of 3 and 2, because the total time taken will be time 1 plus time 2, and then you are left with 60 divided by 5. Therefore, you have successfully calculated the average speed, which is 12 kilometers per hour. I hope that you find this video helpful, and good luck on your math journey.